Jeremiah. No, Jeremiah.
Should I take the mic out?
Leave it right in and lean in.
Okay.
Go closer.
Yep.
Closer.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm waiting. So is that everyone? Should I go? Everyone, please remain standing. Gentlemen, remove your caps for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. Brendan Epry will come up and do the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening, and welcome to Mount Anthony's graduation ceremony for the class of 2013. Tonight, we're here to honor and celebrate your accomplishments. I want you to take a look around you. There are many people here who have helped you get to this point. And like all of us up here, they are extremely proud of you tonight and filled with excitement and emotion watching you move on to the next phase of your life. You finished high school. You earned your diploma. But now you're going to have to figure it all out. What the next part of your life will be about and how you will get to your ultimate goals. Have you ever stopped to think about the impact your choices have had on your life? In fact, if you'd like to know how your choices have affected you so far, take a look at yourself and the life you've lived up until now. What you see has a lot to do with the choices you've already made. On the horizon are some big choices coming up for you. Education, career, marriage, family. Those are the ones you hear so much about. But what about the other choices? The many almost unnoticed choices that all of us make each day. Let me give you some examples. Who do you spend your time with? What do you eat? How often do you take the time to talk to someone in your family? Do you smile at people when you walk by them? Do you exercise? Do you argue for the sake of arguing? Do you tweet or even retweet just to stir things up? Do you take the time to listen to others? Do you lead or do you follow? Who do you choose to admire? How do you show your emotions? How often do you feel sorry for yourself? How many compliments do you give? What do you do when you don't get your way? Are you honest with yourself and others? How often do you need to be reminded to do something? How polite are you? These are just a few of the decisions we all make every day. So how important are these decisions? Well, let me tell you something. All of them count. Often I've heard many of you talking as if everything happens to you, that you have so few options. But really, most everything is something you've decided to do or not do. Life does happen. Who you are is partly your family, partly your upbringing, and yes, partly fate. But mostly, it's about the choices you make in life. And let me tell you, sometimes your choices won't be fun, or won't make you happy, or you'll find out it was the wrong decision and you'll have to go in a different direction, because that's how life is. One thing I've learned over the years about choices is this. Whatever a person chooses to do now sets up what he or she must do later, and there's always a later. So think about your choices carefully. After today, you're heading towards a new phase of your life. Maybe it's here in Bennington, maybe you're off to a new destination. But wherever you are, remember, the choices are yours now, no one else's. If you're not so happy with some of your choices so far, now's the time to start that new path. We've watched you develop attributes that will help you be successful in your goals, and I hope you'll use them wisely. On behalf of all of us here at MAU, congratulations to the class of 2013. We're going to begin by recognizing our top honor students. Those wearing a white stole earned a 3.5 or above grade point average for their 4 years here at Mount Anthony. The students wearing a gold stole were ranked at the top 10 of their class. Would these students please rise and be recognized? I would also like to recognize a participant of the Adult Diploma Program who has completed his high school graduation requirements at the Tutorial Center. Please rise and be recognized.
Good evening and congratulations to all graduates this evening. I would like to recognize the graduates who are honored by the national membership in the National Technical Honor Society, a nationally recognized organization for promoting excellence in workforce education that meets the demands of today's quality-driven business and industries. Fewer than 2% of America's secondary students are nominated for membership into this prestigious organization. Will those students who will be graduating as members of the National Technical Honor Society please rise and be recognized?
just take my hand and hold it tight. I will protect you from all around you. I will be here, don't you cry.
For one so small, you seem so strong. My arms will hold you, keep you safe and warm. This bond between us can't be broken. I will be here, don't you cry. 'Cause you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. You'll be in my heart. No matter what they say, you'll be here in my heart always. Why can't they understand the way we feel? They just don't trust what they can't explain. I know we're different, but deep inside us, we're not that different at all. 'Cause you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. Don't listen to them, 'cause what do they know? We need each other to have to hold. They'll see in time. I know. When destiny calls you, you must be strong. It may not be with you, but you've got to hold on. They'll see in time. I know. We'll show them together, 'cause you'll be in my heart. You'll be in my heart. This day on, now and forevermore. You'll be in my heart. No matter what they say, this here in my heart always. Always. I'll be with you. I'll be with you always. Always and always. Just look over your shoulder. Just look over your shoulder. Just look over your shoulder. I'll be there.
Yeah. Superintendent McClure, Ms. McGuire, members of the Board of Education, faculty, family, friends, and most importantly, fellow seniors, welcome. Now, to be honest, I've had many aspirations in my lifetime. And I've learned from the past few days that I can confidently say speech writing is no longer one of them. I wasn't really sure how one started a graduation speech, but I tackled the challenge like every reasonable 21st century student would, with the help of Google. So I Google searched the subject and was relieved to discover that there is an entire Wikipedia page dedicated to writing graduation speeches. So I would like to take this time to thank the contributors of Wikipedia personally for their assistance with this speech, and on behalf of the class of 2013, many of us would not be here without its help. Hashtag Murica. Now, the advice I was given was actually pretty terrible. So hopefully my remarks will be slightly more inspirational and insightful. Last year, this faculty speaker at Wellesley High School in Massachusetts gave a graduation speech during which he informed the graduating class that they were not special, at least not yet. This speech has since gone viral on YouTube and social networking sites all around the globe, with over 3 million likes, tweets, and views. To an extent, we all have to agree that he is correct. At first glance, there is nothing that distinguishes our graduating class from the other 3.3 million seniors currently graduating from across the country. Even as salutatorian of the class of 2013, I must share this title not only with my friend Aaron, but also with 37,000 others from across the country, and who knows how many in China. We have to agree that he is correct, because we live in a world where mediocrity is not only accepted, but far too often rewarded. A world where the Kardashians and Jenners collectively have 15 times as many Instagram followers as our current president. But we are in a unique position to inspire the next generation to want to be more than a Jersey Shore bimbo. Right now, seniors, we are mediocre, nothing special, starting from the bottom, if you will. But I can confidently say that, having spent way too much time with many of you over the past 13 years, every single one of us is capable of becoming great, of becoming special. Now, if we were actually paying attention in our sophomore year history class, sorry, Ms. Contrada, Mr. Coggeshall, and Mr. DeMeo, we may have noticed a pattern in history. All great leaders and thinkers are innovators and break from tradition. Martin Luther wrote a scathing indictment against the most powerful body of his time and succeeded in inspiring a revolution whose ripples can still be felt today. Albert Einstein, arguably one of the most brilliant minds in history, was all but exiled from the scientific community when he proposed his theory of relativity. Even in our own school, we don't remember all of those who abided by our, let's say, less than popular dress code. Thank you, Mr. Barrio. Rather, we remember those who bent, pushed, and often broke it. All of these people, all of these leaders broke with traditional wisdom and are remembered for it. T.S. Eliot wrote that it is dangerous to associate tradition with the immovable, to think of it as something hostile to all changes, and that tradition without intelligence is not worth having. Now, I'm not arguing that we part with tradition just for the sake of it. However, questioning tradition with intelligence is what will make each of us great, each of us special. This breaking with convention does not nearly have to be on the same scale as Luther or Einstein. But if you feel that a societal convention is holding you back, shatter through it. The only way to avoid mediocrity is to lead, to progress, and to innovate. If we can all do these three simple things, or I guess less than simple things, the force of our class is sure to be felt long after we leave this school, this town, and this community. I, like I'm sure many of you, was not expecting to be here today because of the ultimately lackluster and uneventful apocalypse that was supposed to have engulfed the earth this December in a cataclysmic orgy of hellfire and brimstone. Well, apparently history or someone got something wrong, because here we are, listening to my speech and graduating. During our time in high school, we have survived 2 raptures and a Mayan apocalypse. And while still mediocre, we are, to quote Harry Potter, the class that lived, and as such, are expected to do inspired things. Thank you.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere.
Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. Took a midnight train going anywhere.
Hey everyone. So before I begin, I'd like to dedicate this speech to my mom, Gwen Winsman, who I wish more than anything could be with me right now, and maybe still is somewhere. I love you, Mom. When I think of these past 4 years, there are so many things that come to my mind. I think of my friends, my family, I think of my teachers, I think of everyone I met and talked to and everyone who has touched me in some way. I think of my mom, and I think of all of you. I came to Mount Anthony not knowing what to expect. I was from a small school and only knew a couple other people, following in my brother's footsteps and hoping for the best. I was so excited but so scared, and I was convinced I would get lost, that somehow things would go wrong, everything would fall apart. The angst of a teenage girl. Now, as I stand here before you on our graduation day, it seems impossible to ever have felt that way. Now, as we are about to become freshmen again, I realize how quickly this school became home, how quickly this school became ingrained into my memory and into my heart, into all our hearts, whether you can't wait to leave or have already shed some tears today. I grew up in these past 4 years in ways I can't describe. I am eternally grateful for my teachers, my coaches, and the faculty, for everyone who has put my needs in front of theirs, for those who taught me something and gave me this great thing we call education. Everyone has given me nothing but kindness, and even though I think I've gotten one too many happy birthdays, anyone who doesn't know about this can ask Mr. Moses. I don't know who I would be without the people here at Mount Anthony, guiding me onward and helping me grow as a student, an athlete, and a person, surpassing what seemed to be unsurpassable. And I think that these are some of the most important relationships you can have in life. And I think that this is what Mount Anthony offers to all its students. From science and math to English and history, from freshman year to senior year, the teachers here will never be forgotten. When I was younger, I went to a sleepaway camp in the wilderness of Pennsylvania for kids ages 7 to 12, where I met many people and did many things, hiking through the woods, sitting around bonfires, playing games, and almost everything else you can imagine. It gave us a chance to be free, to be kids. On our last day, when my friends and I had reached our last year there, we had the hugest bonfire I have ever seen. We went through tons of wood, and we sat there and watched the flames burn. It seems symbolic, really, this fire, burning through what we had made here, erasing it from our futures. Everyone was crying and sad, and I turned to my friend and said, "This is our last night here, ever." He looked at me and said, "It's okay. We have all these memories, places to go when we're lost or confused, a safe haven." And he was right. The memories we make, the people we meet along the way, they are part of who we are and become part of who we will be. We cling to memories not because we don't want to let go, but because they give us comfort when we feel like there's nothing there. Memories are our safe haven. And yet here we are, all these little memories coming together to create this one, this great moment, this one single moment that leads us to the beginning of our lives. And it seems that sometimes we must let go of who we are to bring forth who we will become. And all that this requires lies inside each of us already. It's what brought us here. It's what allows us to change and mature. Determination, willpower, strength. I don't think we're supposed to have it all figured out yet, and I know that I certainly don't. As we move on toward our futures, toward careers, toward college, toward living alone, everything will fall into place. It's not the fact that we're always doing the right thing, and it's definitely not the fact that we know what we want to do, who we want to be. It's the fact that there's something out there for us, destiny, maybe, or fate, something there to believe in when even we aren't aware of what we should do. And I know that the future holds so many great things, and even when it might seem like it doesn't, even when the present seems inescapable and terrible and heartbreaking, there are better days to come. It's inevitable that we face trials, that we lose loved ones and feel like there's nothing there. It's inevitable that life isn't always perfect because change is life's only constant. But part of growing up means learning to realize that it's worth it, that being strong enough to let go is worth it. This moment, the ability to remember past moments, everything that brought us to today. It's worth it. So I'll leave you with all these memories, with the safe haven of the past to give us what we need to move forward. Years of hard work have brought us here, and it's finally time for it all to pay off. According to Eleanor Roosevelt, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. I know that there are so many dreams here today, and I think we can all agree that the future therefore belongs to us. This moment was always supposed to be ours. Congratulations, class of 2013. In the words of Reese Witherspoon, we did it!
How's everybody feeling? First off, I'd like to thank you all for coming here today. High school was an interesting time for me, as I can imagine it was all for you too. We all hoped to find out who we really were and try to define ourselves as individuals. We all chose different routes, but we all found our way here today, standing in front of everyone, knowing we accomplished what we set out to do 4 years ago. Going to my first day of my freshman year, I don't know what to expect, as I'm sure we all felt at some point. I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous. I heard crazy rumors from freshmen being put into trash cans to a helpless science teacher being duct taped to a chalkboard overnight. But I set those fears aside and walked through the main doors, followed the bells, and went to my classes. As I walked out of the school the first day, I felt a sense of relief. I survived my first day of high school. There was only one of many to come. There are so many things to learn from high school before you're even done the first year. There's such a wide variety of people and new things to do. You keep friends from previous years, but you also make new ones. You learn how to find absolute values in Pi, while also learning to talk to people, start relationships, and even grow up a little bit, but not too much. This town will always have a special place in my heart, and no matter where I go, I'll take what I've learned here, and more specifically right here, surrounded by my friends and family with me. As I look out among these faces, I see that excitement and some uncertainty. Uncertainty for what the future might hold, what the people might be like. Well, if either things are like this town and like this school, then we should have nothing to fear. I've had some of the most memorable moments at this school, met some of the greatest people, and learned some of the most important life lessons here. One of the most important people in my life, my mom, she told me to leave the world in a better place than how I found it. In keeping with that motto, I say what we learn from this school and make a difference in the world. We are all destined to do great things, and as we close this chapter and open the next, I know deep down inside we have nothing to fear. We made it this far, so make the best the next pages to come and be whatever and whoever you want to be, and always remember, Class of 2013!
All right, so some of you may know Mr. Malloy as an assistant principal, a social studies teacher, or a soccer coach. However you're familiar with him, I'm sure that we could all agree that he's always in a good mood, ready to make a joke, but at the same time has the highest expectations for all of us. I never would have thought I would try so hard to work my way into an assistant principal's office just to spend time talking with him. Mr. Malloy is someone who has earned the respect of the students and the faculty, and it is my pleasure to introduce him. Here's Mr. Malloy.
Thank you. Superintendent McClure, members of the Mount Anthony School Board, fellow members of the MAU faculty and staff, parents, relatives and friends, and most importantly, members of the class of 2013. It is a distinct pleasure and humbling privilege to have been asked to speak to you this evening on undoubtedly one of the most important events in your young lives so far. As is your custom and duty as a teenager, I would assume, many of you have not failed in giving me advice as to what you want to hear in this speech. Make it funny, some of you said. Keep it short, others insisted. And all of you seem to require a shout out. Although I'm not sure how saying all of your names will make this either comical or quick. And isn't that what's supposed to happen in less than an hour when you walk across the stage? So I suppose I'm going to suggest, just for the sake of pacing, that we save all of your shout-outs until then, and I get on with my message to you. How about that? In short, I've got 3 words for you all. Yes, this whole talk is going to hinge on just 3 words. And me trying to convince you that if you keep these words in the forefront of your minds, from now on, you will be much better off. Are you ready? Here they are. You are lucky. You don't believe me. You don't believe me. Now, I don't mean let's head down to Foxwoods and bet your entire paycheck on the fact that a little bouncing ball will land on red instead of black on a roulette wheel. Not that kind of lucky. And I don't mean that your chances of winning or rather not winning a Powerball are better than everyone else. No, not that lucky either. Rather, you guys are fortunate for so many things, most of which a great many of you take for granted every day. First of all, you were all lucky to be born into the world when you were. You are all turn-of-the-century kids, and so much has happened since the 1990s began. Since your births, the internet got connected, and the world became wired, well, until the 2000s came, and it said wireless was a much better option, so things changed. But in addition, smartphones, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram are all words that meant nothing to high schoolers 10 years ago. But nowadays, most of you can't make it an hour without one, if not all of them. Heck, some of you, I'm sure, are tweeting about listening to this talk right now. Hashtag long, boring speech. So why do I think you're lucky to have all these things? Well, it's not so much what you have, but rather what you don't have that makes you lucky. You don't have to deal with growing up during an era where illness and disease are commonplace, as advancements in vaccines and medicine and science have granted most of you a higher quality of life than your ancestors ever had. You don't have to worry about being drafted into the Vietnam War or ducking under your school desk to practice against a possible nuclear attack. Nowadays, a Twitter war is a lot less deadly than another world war, and a photobomb much better than a carpet bomb. It is. Even though the world is not without its problems, and fear-mongering still gets the most headlines, I honestly think the world is safer today than at any other time in the modern era. Next, you guys are all lucky to live in the United States of America. For a relatively young country, it's only 237 Earth years. I bet you didn't know that. But America has transformed mankind's existence. Millions of people have fled to our country when governments of more restrictive nations tried to tell others what to say or what to think. The United States is the cornerstone that other nations are built on today, and a definite proof that a government of, by, and for the people can work in the long run. Where else but the United States are you given the chance and freedom to pursue your dreams? No one here, well, maybe with the exception of your parents after they're sick of you living in their basement 10 years from now, but no one here is ever going to tell you what you have to do with your life. This country affords you every opportunity possible. It's up to you to take advantage of the innovations, the diversity, and the educational institutions it has made famous. Although many of you may not agree with this next statement today, you will someday, I guarantee it. You are lucky to live in Vermont. There are not many places in the United States, or the world for that matter, where you get to enjoy 4 distinct seasons. If you lived in the South, your winters would be warmer, but not white with snow. If you lived in the Midwest, you'd miss out on the fall foliage that fills the mountainsides every October. If you lived on the West Coast, you'd be stuck in traffic all summer long with the other 40 million people who believe that living close to the Pacific Ocean is the best way towards happiness. Not only do you live in a state where nature is coveted and individualism is trumpeted, but you get to live less than 3 hours from 2 of the greatest cities in the world. And no, I'm not talking about Albany and Springfield. Boston and New York consistently are listed as 2 of the top 5 cities in the world where students want to study, live, and work. And both locations are easily accessible from your home state. If you don't now, someday you're going to grow to love and cherish the hunting, the fishing, hiking, kayaking, skiing, biking, snowshoeing, and general easy living that Vermont has to offer you every day. And finally, you are lucky to have gone to and graduated from Mount Anthony. This school boasts a student-friendly faculty and administration, a diverse course of studies, rich and talented fine artists and musicians, as well as dedicated athletes and coaches. Students from this school have gone on to do great things, with many in this current class headed to prestigious universities to continue an education that MAU has only just begun. Heck, some former students like me even come back to give commencement addresses, extolling the virtues of their Mount Anthony education and hoping to pass that love of learning on to the current generation of students. My advice to you, let your Mount Anthony commencement truly be the beginning of the next chapter of your life. So now that I've convinced you, or maybe I haven't convinced you, in approximately 10 minutes, or the time it takes most of you to send out 50 tweets, that you are lucky, I want to leave you with a few bits of advice that I believe hold true and I think will serve you well into the future. If you've been listening carefully, and I know you have, you all now know that you were born in the right decade, in the best country, in one of the most beautiful states, and are graduating tonight from a high school that has offered you everything you could have wanted, even if you didn't believe it while you were walking its halls. Now that you're leaving, take these words with you as you head into the future and onto your next adventures. Number 1, don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Number 2, what is right is more important than who is right. Number 3, never be disagreeable just because you disagree. Number 4, the best predictor of future performance is past performance. And number 5, make each day your masterpiece. No one is perfect. I can tell you that I believe everything that I have told you here tonight, but it's easy to believe. It's much more difficult to put into practice. I've heard many of you say that you don't know where your time at high school has gone, as it seems like only yesterday that you were young freshmen struggling to read Siddhartha. Oh, that was a good book, yeah. In figuring out whether or not you can really get to the CDC store and back to class with just 7 minutes of passing time. Guess what? You could. So we changed it to 5 minutes of passing time just to make things a little more challenging for you, all right? Well, high school is now over. A transition is taking place. Don't waste your life with what ifs and maybe laters, because the luck that you have today may not be with you forever. Your time is now. It has been a pleasure watching you all grow into young adults over the past 4 years. I personally have become a better teacher, a better coach, a better administrator, and a better person, having known and worked with many of you here at MAU, and I want to thank you for that. I guess in the end, you are not the only ones who are lucky. We are all lucky to have had each other and have a place where we can continually help and guide each other along the way. If we all promise to not take anything for granted and to work as hard as we possibly can, we won't need any luck to be a success. Success will be a guarantee. Thank you all, and congratulations once again, class of 2013.
trouble wrong. To love your and chase from afar. To try when your arms are too weary. To reach the unreachable star.
Follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far. Fight for the right, take a question or pause. Marching to help for heavenly cause. And I know if I only be true to this glorious peaceful and calm, on my way to my rest.
And the world will be better for this, that one man's born and covered with scars, still grow with his vessels of courage to reach the unreachable
March into hell for heavenly cause. And I know if I only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart peaceful and calm, and on my way to my will be better for this, that one man's born and covered with scars, still strong with his vessels of courage, to reach the unreachable ring, the unreachable
Salve, Wale. These two words in Latin mean hello and goodbye. We have already been greeted by the co-salutatorians, Aaron Winsman and Griffin Thomas. And now I am here as your valedictorian to say goodbye and to wish you off into the wonderful world that is our future. Now, I did get this speech approved, but what I did not tell people is that I'll be giving it in Spanish. Bienvenidos, amigos, padres, profesores. Quisiera decir, no, I'm just kidding. It will actually be in English. Friends, parents, teachers, administrators, let me say that it is an honor to be able to give the valedictorian speech for the Mount Anthony Union class of 2013. I would like to take this time to thank my parents for all their support, the teachers who have influenced me and who make this school great, the administrators who make this wonderful education possible, my good friends, my bad friends, and the sidewalks for keeping me off the streets. First, I would like to say that as I spent hours scouring the internet, trying to figure out what to put in a speech, I found that cliche speeches about following your dreams and being the leaders of tomorrow and shooting for the stars just put you guys to sleep, so don't worry, I'm not going to say those things. So I thought to myself, what would make my speech interesting? What can I say that will make you guys think back on my speech and say, wow, that was inspiring? And I couldn't think of anything. A wise man once said, a good speech should be like a comet, dazzling, eye-opening, and over before you know it. I don't know how well I can do the first two, so I'll try to make sure to do the third for you guys. From experience, I can tell you there are many bad public speakers, and the problem with most of them is that you can't hear what they're saying. However, the problem with others is that you can. So if you don't want to listen to this speech, I'm inviting you right now to lay your head back, close your eyes, and take a nap for the duration of this speech. Don't worry, I won't be offended. But for everyone else who is still awake, I would really appreciate it if you smile, listen, and really think about what I'm about to say. Now, high school has been many things for me, but most of all, it was a place of learning. I've learned that procrastination is not my friend from many nights of staying up doing papers. I've learned that getting along with others is harder than it seems from trying to accomplish many group projects. I've learned that people aren't always as they seem, and that people often change with time. But the real message of what I have to share with you tonight is not one of luck, it's not one of leadership, it's not one of memories, but it's one of love. Right now, we are about to graduate, and we must do everything that we do with love and believe in its importance. And we must do it with a sense of urgency, because any moment could be our last. We must be thankful for what we have, and if we don't like the way things are, we have to change them. Because right now, no one is holding us back but ourselves. Not our parents, not our teachers, not our friends. And as Ralph Waldo Emerson said, do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Then others will be proud to follow us as we live out our dreams. And in life, we will try, and most likely we will fail, but we should never fail to try. And if opportunity doesn't knock, we must build a door for it to knock on. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you will all be successful in everything that you do, or that you'll become rich and famous, leaders, or that if you shoot for the stars, you'll hit the moon, because I would be lying. Some of us might become rich and famous, but the truth is the majority of us will not. And we shouldn't want these things, because they won't make us happy. Happiness will come from the little things in our lives, the relationships we form, the memories we make, and the little successes that come with trying to follow our dreams. But whether or not we actually reach them is irrelevant. Happiness will come from the way we live and the way we love.
And if we make sure to love, we will be happy no matter where we end up. So as you're sitting there thinking, what the heck is he talking about? And he's been droning on for long enough, as I know some of you are. Remember this. If you show love in everything that you do, others will love you for it, and you will be happy most of the days of your life. Thank you.
So, each year, the last award presented to a graduating senior is the Senior Patriot Award. This award is given to an individual who embodies the true sense of what it means to be a student here at Mount Anthony. The recipient of this award will be presented with a plaque and also will have his or her name inscribed on a permanent plaque hanging in the front hallway of our school. This year's Patriot is a true gentleman in every sense of the word. He is well respected by both young and old, and his easygoing ways are appreciated by everyone he comes in contact with. He spends time forming his opinions and acts in the best interest of not only himself, but others as well. He is a dependable teammate and steady leader, both in the classroom and on the playing fields. His genuine and positive demeanor always puts everyone at ease. He is everything a Mount Anthony Patriot should be. It gives me great pleasure to announce that this year's Senior Patriot Award goes to Jeremiah Colbath. Now, I would like to have the President, Ben Vatican, and the Vice President, Jeremiah Colbath, come forward to receive their diplomas.
Here, we'll just take it out.
If I don't know what you're doing, there's probably a lot. Yo, nice shot, picture of it. Lauren Gissel was waving. She started talking. She said, Jeremiah Colbath. And I was like, she sounds like Jerry.
Alright, so you grab the cards, throw them in there. Where'd you put this?
I put mine in.
Yeah, hold on. Sweet. Alright. Stephanie Brazy.
Oh, guessing the entire name.
Oh, sorry. Brianna Marie Osgood.
No, you can just say it.
Jocelyn Kondo. Hunter Crowell. Brittany Jean Amadon. Brandon Lewis. Stacy Bassett. JT Woodside. Dylan Thompson. Dakota Knapp. Brittany Tift. Nellie Monroe. Kayla Loveland. Michelle Saunders, Anastasia Hayco, Chelsea Carey, Heather Foley, Dawn Chrisman, Tyler Harrington, Alicia Ray, Victoria Vincent, Imani Davis, Sabrina Voller. You want the next row?
I think you got it.
Okay.
Douglas Downey.
Douglas Downey, Dylan Loftus, Brittany Harrington, Sydney Richmond, Tevin Baker, Nicobe Hamilton, Louise Brace, Morgan Leard, Jennifer Jones, Sarah Noble, Marie Rembrandt, Athena Michaels, okay, Alexander Stevens, Zev Benjamin, Darius Carey, okay, TJ Stamola, okay, sorry, Kiana Gates, you can go, Jenna Oldham Ritchie,
Cielo Paines,
Shelby Whitman, Hannah Parada Poyer, Haley Armstrong, Olivia Ostrander, Courtney Jones, Cassidy Carpenter, Cody Bizon, Becca Lynn Brace,
Stanley Wojcik,
Alexander Miller, Joe Corey, Christopher Sullivan, Joshua Hogue, Benjamin Fowler, Lily Taub, Lauren Driscoll,
Tommy Spear,
Jimmy Mazzola, Tyler Hornung, Colin Hunter Dalzell McGuire, Eric Goyette, Leo Salinger Yucht, Sienna Thiem, Georgia Thompson, Sadie Baker, Emily Elizabeth Rantilla, Brendan Epryle, Griffin Thomas, Travis DeForge, Robert Murphy, Madison Palinsar, Jamie O'Neill, Brittany Tilley, Lauren Ritchie, Robert Altieri, Shane Wilkinson, Jenna Beaumont, Megan Carham, Paige Harrington, Matt Perkins, Luke Jonas, Caleb Cohen, Nargiza Toshkujaiva, Michelle Case, Mary Catherine Curtin. Aaron Winsman. Holden Libby Thomas. Jaden Tift. Curtis Pettit. Nicole Kamali. Mark Brandmeier. Cassidy Karen. Houston Shaler.
Kyle Fletcher.
Miguel Calixto. Kendra Beach Pembroke.
Lyndon Elizabeth Dufour Dean.
Shelby Carey. Mariah Andrew. Charisma Patel. Marissa Mahar. Lacey Catherine Parmenter. Kayla Duvall. Kayla Elizabeth Gardner. Paul Subaru. Peter Sorensen.
Dan Atkins.
Rudy Vatican.
Casey Cranston.
Tucker Nicklin. Jeffrey DeLucia. Colleen Elizabeth Hendry. Rebecca Lynn Romack. Erin Mary Weldon Anderson. Mackenzie Krozik. Shelby Lynn McLenithan. Andrew Parker Slade. Amelia Jane Hart Royce. Christopher Bliss Sigsbury. Austin John Doherty. Christopher Boise. Charles F. Zipprich III. Eringston Bibbins. Zachary Bayham. Isaiah Sievers. Trenton Endress. Megan Bernard. Haley Saunders. Melisha Smith. Joshua Dupras. Justin Brown. Aaron Bashi. Taylor Lucier. Michael Plaisance. Cassandra Simmons. Andre Ann Chanile. Brandon Marcu Schaefer. Jesse Harris. Jesse Peters. Rachel Sandoval. Marquise Winslow. Rachel Jones. Stephanie Lee Stowe. Kimberly Soroyce. Denisha Green.
Edwin Pascucci.
Liam Downey. Landon Tatro. Cameron Bowe.
Oh, wow.
Zach Redden. Veronica Hebert. Weston Lozier. Sawyer Goslin. Connor Albowitz. Bailey O'Neill. Mark Roy. Kat Azrael Hulbert. Quinn Taylor Harris Loomis. Jason LaFaro. Kanan Edward Gifford. Chelsea Hewinson. Kelsey Ann. I'm sorry. Brittany Crawford. Dana Griffiths. Stephen Dennis. Kristen Leonard. Oh, I'm sorry. Leo Yazzie. Powell Miller. Amber Mary Worley. Jesse Dickinson. Alicia McDonald. Jenna Grover. Jasmine Sherman. Danica Chanile. Sierra Christine Gaudette. Eric McMorrow. Samantha Breed. Larry Peters. Harrison Myers. Alec Haran. Tyler Morse. Ben Bashi. Norm Robinson III. Zachariah Washburn. Courtney Elizabeth LeBlanc. Ty Kipp. Zach Ware. Keona Kinney. Brooke Bishop. Olivia Moyant. Abby Andrews. Jay Beatty. Sarah Ann Lamprin. Logan Starr. Last name. Elijah Lanthern. Michaela Lacey Crandall. Alicia Lee Beatty.
Ree Jendile.
Rachel Brace Baker. Zach Salvi. Joshua Buteau. And Stacy Harrington.
I, too, am proud of you. And like you, I thank the administration, faculty, and staff of Mount Anthony, your families, and your friends for supporting you. And now, will you please rise, graduates of 2013. By the power vested in me by the state of Vermont, I now declare you, 2013 graduates of Mount Anthony High School, you may move your tassels from right to left. Congratulations.